Samsung released a pretty strong entrance in the mid-range Android segment with the waterproof 2017 A-series trio, and now we have the largest of them all, Galaxy A7, to check out on. It shares specs with the A5, which we already reviewed, such as a 14nm Exynos chipset and two 16-megapixel cameras front and back, but has half an inch longer display diagonal and a 20% larger battery. Will these warrant the price difference between the two for fans of big screen phones? Let's find out. Samsung moved the gloss and metal design of its flagships downstream this year, and as a result the A7 has a dark metal frame sandwiched between two plates of Gorilla Glass 4, so make sure you don't drop it as it will crack easily. The biggest downside of the handset stems precisely from its largest display, as it is not very palm friendly, especially if it has a case tacked on in addition as well. The sides of the phone are busier than usual, as Samsung has moved the speaker from its traditional place on the back or bottom to the right side above the power key. It's a good placement, and the speaker grill isn't covered easily when you watch videos in landscape mode, as we were afraid it would. The power key on the right and the volume buttons on the left are somewhat thin, but made out of sturdy metal. They don't wobble and are easy to find and press without looking if need be. But by no means least, Samsung has provided two separate trays in the A7 Duo version, so the A7 can function with two SIMs and a microSD card inserted at the same time. Plus the SIM trays are plug and play, so no need to restart the phone. Move on people, nothing to see here, just your run-of-the-mill 5.7-inch Super AMOLED display with 1080p resolution. While that pixel density is perfectly enough and allows for longer battery life in comparison with the Quad HD panels, the color shifts to the overly cold and bluish with the slightest tilt of the phone, which if you're coming from an LCD panel can be pretty annoying. Other than that, if you run the Galaxy A7's display in basic mode, it will exhibit credible colors with tamed saturation levels. In the default adaptive mode, however, the phone is becoming your typical loud AMOLED with flashy overzealous colors. The screen is bright enough and with low reflectance ratio, so it is comfortable to view outside. The A7 ships with Android Marshmallow, but still sports the new Samsung UX, so you can't really tell, as Nougat doesn't bring all that much novel to the table. Samsung's new overlay replaces TouchWiz of yesteryear with cleaner, tidier visuals in a much more coherent and well thought out style. This is roughly the same interface on the newly updated Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge with Nougat. The interface runs smooth on the octa-core Exynos with 3GB of RAM, which only exhibits an occasional hiccup or stutter here and there. Power user features like the Secure Folder that was first introduced with the Note 7 are also here by default. Secure Folder is just what it sounds like, a totally secure environment where you can have apps like your business email and can even run a separate Google account. The keyboard experience on the Galaxy A7 is also flawless. Samsung's keyboard is among the most accurate and fastest on Android, not the least because its keys are well separated from each other. The only gripes we have with Samsung's interface is that there is still no support for the most useful and obvious gestures. It is perplexing, for instance, how can such a popular interface not have a pull-down gesture anywhere on the screen to unfurl the notification shade. That's especially painful on a 5.7-inch phone like the A7, where you often have to use both hands for a simple action like that. The Galaxy A7 features 16-megapixel cameras at both the back and the front. They lack any form of stabilization though, and there is no 4K video support. The new camera app on the A7 is much cleaner, leaving only the bare necessities on its main screen. The app interface is gesture-based now, so swiping left, right or up and down takes you to the color filters, the shooting modes or swaps to the selfie shooter. The quality of the pictures is fine, especially the lively colors and good dynamic range of the picture shot in daylight. The camera is pretty fast to focus and take a picture in auto mode too. The images, however, come out too soft for our liking and often get smudged easily in low light. Then smudging and the lack of stabilization really start to creep up, resulting in quite a few blurry shots, so hold it steady and with bated breath. When it comes to the front camera, 16 megapixels seems more of a marketing trick than something that captures more detail than the competition. It does produce good selfies in decent lighting, but often struggles with tricky dynamic range scenes, and the results are just average. The Galaxy A7 tops up at 1080p video definition as it doesn't have a top-of-the-line chipset inside, but would gladly trade amazing battery life off for the niche 4K option that not many will end up switching to. Unfortunately, the 1080p video is nothing to write home about either. While it exhibits the jolly colors and good dynamic range of the stills, Samsung has somehow managed to translate every little movement of your hand into a shake in the footage. It looks like as if there is not only no optical but no software stabilization whatsoever too, so make sure you hold the phone very steady while recording video and with both hands. The continuous autofocus works quite fast, though not as instantaneous as with Samsung's dual pixel technology in its flagships. All in all, we like this year's Galaxy A7 edition. Were it not for the many camera mishaps like the softish pictures and shaky videos, it could have scored excellent on all counts. It, however, excelled in one pretty important metric, especially for people who aren't sitting at a desk all day: battery life. The phone has the best battery life in its upper mid-range category, and if you need a weekend warrior with a large screen, this is it. It also sports very good call quality, premium chassis feel, and finally a polished, uniform interface that is still feature-rich. The waterproof body is only the icing on the cake, so if you're in need of a long-lasting big screen phone to consume media, to browse or game on the go, the A7 will fit your mid-range budget and then some. This was a video review of the Samsung Galaxy A7 2017 edition from PhoneArena. For more information about this or other handsets, you can visit us at PhoneArena.com. Thanks for watching.